Designer Marathon brings you a unique chronicle of the milestone moments, the landmark collections, the exhibitions, the favorite models, and the creative process behind every designer's career. From the first to the last, from the shocking to the classic, follow the evolution of the world's top designers from rising star to fashion icon. It's all here in the vault, a retro-spectacular timeline, a designer marathon. For more than 35 years, Emanuel Ungaro has been on a quest to seduce women, and he has pursued this vocation with more passion than most of his peers.
He's the one who can turn a piece of chiffon into the best Oscar dress you've ever seen. It's all about the fabric. It's all about the twist.
He loves women, and it's obvious, always has been.
I always think of his clothes as being happy, and I think he's just an enormously talented and influential designer.
I think that he's very faithful to himself, following a kind of idea of the woman, of the real woman. And I do think, in the same time, he is very modern.
I'm born in an Italian family, and I came to France from the south of Italy. And my father was a tailor. And naturally, I was, even when I was 6 years old, working there in the shop. With the sewing machine. That life was very hard for us. We were a huge family. My father was ill. And I said, for myself, I have to do something. And I got to Paris with 2 shirts and 1 pant and no money. And I started working with in tailor shop. I had to find some money to eat, to survive. I knew a lot of people at the time in the fashion part of the city.
One of them was André Courrèges, assistant to designer Cristobal Balenciaga. When Courrèges left Balenciaga, Ungaro was hired.
I arrived there, I was 23, 24, something like that. I started in the lowest part of the business, and I was standing to give him pins for hours to understand how to do that, how to do the fitting, how to do the proportion. And that has been my fashion school, the best in the world. Nothing is better, nothing.
In 1965, after 6 years in the shadow of the master, the 32-year-old Ungaro felt it was time to create his own house.
No money, no help, nothing. And I did my first collection. It was incredible. There are exactly 20 outfits, no more. And I must say we had beautiful success immediately. And with this success, I had money enough to continue to do another collection.
For over 2 decades, designer Emanuel Ungaro has romanced the feminine form with a passion for women that goes unrivaled. Ungaro's love affair with women has translated into a multi-million-dollar empire. His dedication is evident not only in his designs, but in every aspect of his work. His attention to detail is legendary, and the women who know him best know why.
I love Ungaro because of the colors, because he's a master with color. And you always look incredible. There's no effort to be beautiful on the runway because the clothes are just perfect.
Really sexy and really very, very chic.
He loves women very much, and he loves to make them feel beautiful.
And I put on the Ungaro clothes and I woke up and said, I can do this, you know, I can be a woman, I can be sophisticated.
He says to you, I want you to be like a real woman, you know, I want you to be a true woman.
I would say that he's a man who likes women.
I'm fascinated, obsessed by women, I must say. I'm obsessed by their life, by the way they want to live. I try to. It is a love declaration. Each of my collections, I try to give to them what really they want to be.
Ungaro's love for women allows him to approach fashion with an innate sense of form and style, an artistic stroke of color and line. His signature touches, beautiful fabrics, and distinctive pattern mixes. As a young designer, Ungaro worked as an apprentice for the master couturier Balenciaga. And from Balenciaga, he understood the importance of cut and purity of line. Today, Balenciaga's influence still inspires Emanuel Ungaro.
I learned everything from him. I did my apprenticeship with him, and I understood what is fashion. And fashion is not just an anecdote, it's more than that. Fashion is part of life. In fact, it's a problem of style. I tried, not just to understand, but to continue the same spirit. It has been a dream since I was very, very young. I came to Paris just with 2 pants and 3 shirts. And with $2 in my pocket. I was dreaming about my couture house. And I was doing the details. I knew. I was 23 years old. Just dreaming. I want to compose a collection like Beethoven was composing the string quartet with the same harmony, same structure. Life, woman, friends. That's inspiring me. Nothing else. And movies and art and so on, surely. But, but life normally is inspiring me the most. It's difficult to find your own vocabulary, your own style. And I found out that I have my own style now. And I want to rework and rework and rework on the same style. I want women smiling. I want women happy. And I want them, when they put a dress, they have to be, themselves. Everybody, every woman can be beautiful.
Ungaro's ideal woman is embodied in French actress Anouk Aimée, whose timeless beauty is his inspiration.
Beauty is different for each person, and beauty comes from inside, especially often.
She symbolizes, in fact, the woman I have in my soul, in my dreams, absolutely. Why? Because it's the mystery, the seduction, the charm, the seduction mystery. First of all, and that are the key words of what is fashion for me, seduction, the main word.
Emanuel Ungaro is fashion's great seducer. His sizzling collection overflows with sex appeal. Yet Ungaro is also a master of color. He mixes pattern and line with an artist's eye. Contrasting black with brights, Ungaro's daywear is drop-dead chic. His signature draped dresses are now naughtily knotted. Ungaro's optics make a graphic black and white statement. And his bathing beauty, ever so sexy dresses take cover under long, billowy robes. The temperature rises with Ungaro's spotted fever. Yet the little black dress has never looked so sexy. But it's Ungaro's hothouse florals that bloom on seductively short taffetas. In prints to solids, Ungaro's lady is very much a man-killer, from the long to the short of it. Emanuel Ungaro, the reigning master of seduction. For designer Emanuel Ungaro, fashion is about options and freedom.
Fashion has to be very simple, very clear, and very joyous, very gay. Has to be. Nothing else.
And no one else mixes fabrics the way Ungaro can. Tailored suiting has never been so feminine. His fabric choice of the season? Plaid, going to new long lengths this fall. But when Ungaro keeps it short, it's thigh-high, a sexy bottom for shapely crocodile jackets. Sober, soft shades color Ungaro's suiting. Lurex shot for sparkle. But it's plaids that make the biggest fling for fall. Another outstanding topper of the season is Emanuel's long coats topping leggy short looks. But the options for hemlines are there this season for short or long. On the masculine side, jaunty metallic raincoats top Ungaro's mismatched pantsuits. But nights are luxurious with the elegant sheen of Ungaro's hand-painted velvets and crinkled lame. And nothing shines like iridescent taffeta, topping Ungaro's sexy suiting. The masterful mix of Emanuel Ungaro.
In celebration of his 30th anniversary, Emanuel Ungaro returned to his design roots. Ungaro drew from his archives to create create a new collection that was ultra spare and modern.
I have a witness here. She's here. She's here. She was at my collection in 1965.
So the first one, the old, I'm very old.
Ask to her.
Every 6 months I'm coming.
It was not exactly what I did in 1965.
It was, not exactly, but it's wonderful, wonderful. Every year.
That's true. That's true.
And Ungaro truly used a restrained hand for spring, delivering a host of smart suits as well as dresses.
It's color. Color is beautiful, no?
He's an artist. He's a painter. Yes, beautiful, elegant things, and sometimes a mixture of many designs and many colors, but this time a little less. And he is the most loved person. He has class. He has class in his way of living and in showing all the things. And he's there since 1960.
Emanuel Ungaro.
No one cares more about the details than designer Emanuel Ungaro.
I have passion. Yes, of course, I'm a passionate man. Freedom, that's my passion. Freedom for me, freedom for the woman. If I remain in the terms of my métier, I'm born like a couturier. I'm still doing haute couture in the, I think, for me, the best way. You cannot improvise the haute couture. You cannot. Even if you have a razzmatazz. You know, you have to have such an energy. You have to have an expertise to know how to cut, how to do things, how to put things together.
Subtlety was in the air to Ungaro, who approached fall with an easy attitude.
You know, it is not. There's no rules, no law here. It depends. It depends, because a woman could be very erotic just with the eyes, or the hands, or the mouth, or even the feet. If you are Louis Buñuel was obsessed by the feet. I did a woman, an exciting woman. I did a woman that I love, which is different. And she wanted to have, you know, to sell some poetry, more than exotic. And the combination of the colors, the materials, so all of this. Consists in telling a sort of a message of love, tenderness, you know, calm, serenity. Because I love women, this is very dangerous, in fact, for me. No?
Emanuel Ungaro paid homage to the women of the skin-bearing 70s. His colorful parade of glamour girls dancing in fluorescent fuchsia, orange and green slips, and ruffled one-shoulder crepe dresses was reminiscent of the disco days at Studio 54.
Or the color, it depends on you. It depends on the color of the skin, the color of your eyes, the color of your hair. It doesn't matter. You know, many women can wear very strong colors, others can wear soft colors. Everything is possible.
I think that this time around designers are really responding to women, and there is a sort of exuberance in the market, and people want to wear color and they want to look very upbeat, and I think that women also really want to stand out and not look like everybody else, and color is certainly the best way to do that. I thought that the treatment of some of the short, very sexy, very bright mini dresses at Emanuel Ungaro were beautiful. This bright pink pantsuit, it was just incredible as an accent, as a head-to-toe look.
It's fascinating because with dressing is a language. You said a lot of things with what you are wearing, a lot.
You're seeing a return to glamour, a return to total grooming, a return to coordinated looks. Your shoes match your dress matches your bag. Big hair is back, high heels are back, sparkle is back.
The beautiful chiffons, they were very classical printed fabrics, very light and fresh.
I love women, I dress them, I want to make love with them. Desire, always desire. Because I'm happy to work. I love to work. I love doing things. That's enough.
Spring 2001 would be the last time that Ungaro would take a solo bow on his ready-to-wear runway. He decided to take a step back from the business that he had created 35 years earlier.
I felt that at that moment, even because I'm not 30 years old anymore, unfortunately, I have to keep part of my life for my own family. And to take some space around me. Could you imagine that I'm working for 55 years? You cannot imagine how happy I am. You cannot imagine. To have time, because you have to know that the couture takes your energy and then doing the ready-to-wear at the same time. And that's a nightmare. And the knitwear, all the collection. I was alone for years and years and years, working, controlling, doing everything. Everything. I was doing 16 collections a year in a certain way. My time is different. The dimension of the time is different. I have time to talk with people working. I have time to help them. I'm going home at 7 o'clock, which is never did that, never. I arrived here at 9:30. I never did that. I was here at 7 o'clock in the morning. And yet people were, wow, it's so late. Well, 8:30.
Ungaro will continue to pursue his first love, the haute couture.
What is fascinating to me After so many years, I'm getting back to my origin.
In fall 2001, Ungaro came out on the runway with his young protégé, Giambattista Valli, a designer who had been working by the master's side for several years. Ungaro was graciously handing over the reins of the ready-to-wear house to the young Italian.
I was looking for a real collaborator more than an assistant. For years I was looking for. I had certain people here. They did not have the obsession like I have. Finally, we find Giambattista 4 years ago, and I felt that after years, Giambattista has wings to fly. That's the moment to give to him this kind of responsibility, because I'm sure it will continue. That's my pride. And my pride is that I'm the only one who did that. No one important designer has decided to have someone to succeed him. No one.
It's never like him being the master and me like learning. It's always like being together, working together, being like, have like a friend relation between us, giving an exchange. Him giving to me like classical music, me giving to him like contemporary artists. You know, it's always like an exchange. And we never talk really about fashion.
Valli has been credited with bringing a fresh view to the house and attracting a new generation of hip young devotees. His reviews get stronger each season.
I think he's following in Ungaro's footsteps and doing very nice, very pretty, soft. His palette is softer than Ungaro's was, but I think that works to a better advantage. I think it broadens the scope of people who want to wear the clothes.
I think it's great the way that he has the confidence to be able to give Giambattista this wonderful opportunity with the ready-to-wear line.
This season marks Emanuel Ungaro's 35th year as a couturier. He's celebrated in New York with the party of the season.
I absolutely adore him. I love wearing Ungaro clothes. They're so feminine, they're so glamorous.
To just be, I think, at the top of your game, really, after 35 years is terrific. So I say congratulations.
Now in his second season at Emanuel Ungaro, Giambattista Valli follows in the footsteps of his mentor, stylistically and also in his apparent ease with women. At a fitting the day before his fall show, Valli explained how he would like women to regard his designs.
The idea that I wanted to try to put it out, it's to give dresses to women that they're going to buy, probably they're going to put in the wardrobe, and then they're going to rediscover the clothes after 6 months or 1 year and to have the same pleasure or even more pleasure to wear them. She's ready, Colette.
For fall, the Ungaro woman will take a sartorial journey through a multitude of cultures, from India to Japan.
This is, for example, it's like a Rajasthani print with an old kimono print, like embroidered, with a kind of Russian tartan belt. And then there is this idea that it goes like on a Chinese parasol, and there are the same flowers like crushing with the winds on the dress, on the parasol. So there is like a story, personal story, that it's like the Emanuel Ungaro style that I interpreted with my vision. Dresses. It's very important because, first of all, because it's like a French culture to have dresses. You know, like the little black dress, the robe de petit dîner, they call here, like dress for intimate dinner, like for like small dinner. Okay. And it's something very Ungaro. And it's always about this image of a woman not really finished. means she has always something, I don't say wrong, but always something that seems wrong, but actually it's the things that add more charm, more personality.
Valli is in the unusual position of designing for a house whose master is still working, yet he is able to add his own funky style.
I bring the vision of my generation, and I bring it probably like more lightness, probably, you know? Still couture, but less couture, like looking through the street.
The finale of the show was inspired by Aladdin's adventures in the film 1001 Nights.
For me, it's very important to leave the space for the final touch of the woman that she's going to wear it. So to leave a space for her interpretation.
Giambattista Valli's spring show for Emanuel Ungaro was replete with ruffles and a flamenco flair.
It's a Latin collection. It's very Latin, South American Latin, but there is a little touch of new romantic moment in London during the 80s. So there is a little touch of Boy George and the Culture Club.
There was that sense in the audience that something really wonderful was happening for Giambattista. I think his last season was really great, but I think he hit his stride this season. I think everyone felt that.
Shades of red dominated the color story, complete with vivid prints.
The colors were there, the color combinations, the love of florals again. There's an obvious theme here in Paris. And the sexiness, but very rich, luxurious, and elegant sexiness. And I think he did a spectacular job.
The prints as always, like a mix of prints that comes out from an Argentinian tango shawls, and there are polka dots. There are like Mexican embroideries, like printed, and it's all about like South Mediterranean.
Like all good designers, he lets the woman wear the clothes and not the other way around.
I always leave the freedom of the woman to interpret it as she wants.
3 years after Emanuel Ungaro first introduced his protégé, Giambattista Valli, the young Italian designer has been credited with bringing a fresh view to the house and attracting a new generation of hip young devotees. For fall 2004, Valli took inspiration from Marie Antoinette and Madame de Pompadour, two grandes dames of 18th century France.
I get inspired a little bit on 18th century colors, atmosphere, sometimes some details from that period. And I want to try to reinterpret it like three portraits of three women of that moment. So there is like Du Barry, that is the first atmosphere, that it's a kind of bluey, purpley atmosphere, that she was the most cultivated, the most private. And then the second one is Marie Antoinette, with a kind of Trianon atmosphere, so more playful, more youngful, more dedicated, more Trianon, but she brings it as a new fashion at Versailles. And the third one is Madame de Pompadour, that it's all like the red and fuchsia and incarnation colors, the most sexy, most passionate kind of side of the collection. And I did even this story, very nice story about this underwear belt that comes on from the trousers or from the skirt, a little bit on the idea of, you know, the young kids on the street that have like underwear coming out, like Everlast underwear coming out. So, and actually the idea is to have something more sophisticated, like boudoir for young women. there is like a very sexy attitude, but it's like more romantic because I think, you know, more beauty. I think we are going back to a real beauty and not an alternative beauty. No, that's more beautiful, more soigné, what we say in France. I want just to concentrate in each silhouette a concept. Instead, just to show dresses, to show more atmosphere. I mean, at the end, you know, what we start, yes, of course, it's the dresses, but before the dress, it's a precise style. It's just a message. Then everybody can interpret it in his way, but it's a message. It's the Emanuel Ungaro message.
Season, Giambattista Valli took inspiration from the recent Olympics held in Greece. His involvement with the Games was a personal one. Valli had been selected as a flame carrier this summer.
I ran in the Olympics because I was very lucky to be invited, to be chosen, me and Naomi Campbell, to be the two fashion icons to be running with the fire. And it was really like a beautiful emotion. And I mean, it was amazing, the emotion.
The Greek theme was established early with an arty short film called Infusion by Marcus Tomlinson.
It's like the vision of my Ungaro woman, and I think she's traveling. It's nice because I don't want to put her like in a corner. I want her to get the inspiration from all over the world and to get dressed with pieces that you will really understand if they are from a designer or not, if they're new, they're old. I wanted to bring like the folk attitude, so I bring it the volumes of, I bring it like the silhouette of the traditional men's outfit with the big pleated skirt called fustanella, and I wanted to give this spontaneous attitude on the fabrics, for example, like this one, almost that she get wet in the water, she holds the color of the water, and the dress gets dried on her body, and so the dress gets the shape of her body and this kind of spontaneity. This is like almost like a typical Ungaro dress because it's plissé, because it's draped, because it's like in muslin. But then, you know, it's treated like in a very contemporary way. And then she put under the skirt, and she changed totally, and she evolved completely the Ungaro silhouette, and that's really amazing.
Sadly, after more than 6 years at Ungaro, this would be Giambattista's final collection. His contract with the house was not renewed. Next season, Valli will design the line under his own name. It seems that any designer can suffer from nerves, but for Vincent Darre, the odds are increased when he is making his debut for the powerhouse maison of Emanuel Ungaro.
I look at it so strange because this today I was not so nervous, and this morning at 6:30 I wake up and oh my God, today is the best day, and now I'm very nervous and very anxious, and at the same time so happy.
With the departure of Giambattista Valli and working alongside the house's namesake, the Frenchman was aware of the pressure on him.
Of course, because you know, it's so exciting to make the collection for Emanuel Ungaro, because it's a house, it's like a dream, you know, because Emanuel Ungaro, for a French, it's a name, Avenue Montaigne, it's like a haute couture name, like a Yves Saint Laurent, or like Dior, like something, but more intimate, and this is for me most elegant. For me, it's like my instinct. I make elegant because this is very important for this house to return all the same elegant, you know, a new elegance, because this house has the name for the French and Paris couture. And I return of this, of the elegance, but at the same time very modern. And I remake the day, because before in Emanuel Ungaro we have only the night, and I hope today you see coat, tailleur, jacket, and dress cocktail, and after the night.
Parisian postcard setting, preparations for Emanuel Ungaro's summer show took place. The French house's new designer, Peter Dundas, embraced the legend of the Ungaro woman.
Traditionally, they used to say that the House of Ungaro was where the mistresses used to buy their clothes, and I kind of like that. That can be a state of mind. It doesn't necessarily have to be in practice either, you know. But it's like a woman who's like, it's very sensual.
A botanical garden encompassed the runway, keeping the 80s excess somewhat in check.
I really started out thinking about birds and bees and flowers and the trees when I was trying to think what's the most fundamental thing, what's the most fundamental thing there is, and like as a starting point, and it's life. I love butterflies, and I love the colors, I love the variation, the lightness, the movement. I'm a bit obsessed with movement.
Just like the house's original master, Dundas gave a discerning nod to Balenciaga.
I'm a huge fan of Balenciaga as well. I mean, I didn't consciously reference it. It was more in the back of my mind. I'm always a little bit worried when I do too much research and look too many places, because it confuses me. It's like I collect as I go along living, and then that comes down on paper. It was more defining who the woman is. I think when you design, you should really like think in your mind, picture who this lady is, and what turns you on about her, and then dress her, and that for anywhere. I like strong women. I like women who are confident and bien dans leur peau, like they say in French, that really are sure of themselves and assume their femininity, or like own their femininity, because I think it's empowering, and that's something that I really consciously try to bring into my work. I love the woman, I love the female body, and I think it should be celebrated, all the curves, everything.
As the front row at Emanuel Ungaro was bathed in a fuchsia glow, the legendary label's newest designer, the young Esteban Cortazar, prepared to present his debut collection for the house.
It's a huge opportunity, and it is, it's a big deal, but it feels great, and I'm giving it my heart and soul. I've been aware of Ungaro since I was 12 years old, because I always bought, all the fashion magazines, or my dad bought them for me to look at. And Ungaro and all the designers that really believe in unapologetic femininity and that effortless seduction and really beautiful colors and prints, they always stood out to me. And Ungaro was one of them. And so, to come here, I know all his collections by heart. I felt very naturally inspired by this house. It wasn't a stretch. I wanted to make it a little less perfect, but with still that inner sophistication. It was really about beauty that comes from within. Again, unapologetic femininity. I wanted the colors to be really soft. I wanted to bring softness back to the house. Fuchsia was a must for me. but I wanted subtle, beautiful colors like lilacs, and then you have a splash of fuchsia, but then you have colors like honey, and I wanted all nature-inspired colors. There's a bit of pastel in it, but and warmness to it, so it's subtle, but at the same time, just beautifully feminine colors. All the fabrics are extremely soft on the body, really comfortable.
I thought it was beautiful, amazing. I think he did a spectacular job.
I thought it was amazing. I think he's incredible. I think everything was so sexy, so wearable. Can't wait to try it on.
This is a girl that wants to wrap herself around what she's wearing. This is a girl that celebrates nature, celebrates life, and that's what I really wanted to evoke in the collections. I really just wanted to express the love that I feel for this house, and I've loved this house since I was 10 years old, since I found out about it. I started looking just a lot of images of all these young girls, actresses, and just friends of mine, and just girls in general, wearing all this vintage Ungaro and making it their own. I started looking at a lot of images of all the things I love about this house, that flamboyant femininity mixed with that classic masculinity, those opposing forces together. This season especially, I really concentrated a lot on the shoes and the bags, and you know, this girl is extremely feminine, and she has a soft soul, and she loves life. She likes to have fun, and she likes to be a little unexpected. The silhouette is either very close to the body or there's a lot of volume. I was also exploring a lot into all the draping that exists in this house and all the beautiful also kind of sculpturing that this house stands for, but finding new ways to do it. It's nice to kind of present and propose this look to a new generation of girls that want to be in Ungaro, but also know a little bit about what Ungaro is, and it's a beautiful history. So it's nice to kind of propose the look to them in a new way, in a fresh way, but with elements of the past.
This would be Esteban Cortazar's final collection for the House of Emanuel Ungaro.